This is John from Global Women's Sports Radio. Today I'm on the beat. I have the pleasure of talking to boxer Stephanie Hahn. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for inviting me
I'm
on
good.
your radio show. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. I know it's a busy week for you. You got a fight coming up on Saturday, and I certainly want to get to that. First, let me back up a little bit. I know you come from a fighting family. When did you decide you wanted to be a boxer?
The first time I became a boxer, we didn't have a choice. My dad, he's from Korea, and his profession is teaching martial arts. So there's 5 kids in our family, and we all started very young. So I started martial arts when I was 3, and then we did karate, taekwondo, kickboxing, and then I started boxing when I was 10. But it wasn't a choice. Like, hey, my dad he didn't give us the option saying, hey, do you want to do boxing? It was like, you're gonna start training boxing, you're gonna start doing it.
So does that put any extra pressure on you coming from a boxing family like that?
I remember when I was young, I felt a lot of pressure because my older siblings, they were good and they were older and they were good at it. And of course we want to be like them. But now it was our life, boxing. And I at the time when I was young, I didn't really see it as a blessing. But now I see it as a blessing, and I'm grateful for my dad pushing that on us because it made us stronger. It truly made us strong mentally and physically.
How many fights have you had so far?
So when I was an amateur, I had about, I want to say 40 fights in boxing, but I also had a lot of fights in kickboxing as well. But it's been a very long time since I competed. It's been a couple years since I've competed in boxing. And now it's either now or never. I'm 30 years old, so I was helping my older sister. I don't know, you know Jennifer Hahn?
Yes.
I was helping her get ready for her last fight against Katie Taylor. And I was sparring her, and I didn't know I still had my skills because it's been so long since I've competed. But I was doing very well against her, and my family convinced me to come back. And I don't want to have any regrets in life, so it's either now or never. So I'm just taking advantage of the opportunity.
So how do you balance boxing with? I know obviously you have a life outside of boxing. You have a job. How do you balance both? How do you find the time for both?
I'm a police officer, so I think the timing. I've been a police officer for almost 5 years, and I think right now where I'm assigned to during my job, I think the timing's really good because I work Monday through Friday, so it's very helpful because if I had a different schedule, it wouldn't have worked. But right now, I'm very grateful, and after I work my regular job, then I just work a couple hours, work out a couple hours, 100% with my family, or with Louis Burke, wherever I'm training. But I always make sure that I give it 100% because I know that I'm not privileged to work out full time, day and night. It's basically just in the afternoon, so I make the most of my time.
Now, when you're going into a fight, when it's fight night, you're stepping into the ring. I know, like when I used to play, way back when I played just high school football, I always wanted to get hit right away just to kind of get that out of the way. Do you have anything like that when you're boxing? Do you want to take a hit real quick to kind of just get it?
Well, because it's boxing, the objective is to not get hit. So for me, I think it's just throwing that first punch and getting those nerves out of the way and just moving. So yeah, I'm actually really excited because it's been so long since I've actually competed. I've been sparring and I've been training, but that's different from actually competition. But I'm looking forward to just going in there and just letting the first punch go and to actually get that feeling again.
I was going to ask you, so going into the fight Saturday night, more nerves or more excitement? How would you?
I think I've grown a lot personally and mentally since I used to compete in the amateurs. So everyone keeps asking me, "Are you nervous? Are you nervous? Are you nervous?" I'm not really nervous. I know that I'm training to win, and I'm very mature mentally, and I'm not gonna beat myself mentally. So I'm just gonna go in there do my best. But I guess I'll be more excited than nervous because it's been so long.
Now, for your opponent, do you have a lot of video of her? How do you train specifically for one opponent, or do you?
So this is my pro debut. And I know that technology, you get to see a lot of people on, there's a lot of videos, there's social media and everything. But with her, I haven't been able to find anything, nothing at all. So I have absolutely no idea how tall she is. I have no idea what fighting style she is, absolutely nothing. But that's what I'm just training, ready for anything.
So when you step in the ring, like, do you think you'll get a real quick idea of like how quickly can you feel out the other boxer to tell what she's going to do?
Um, I, for me right now, my game plan is just focusing on myself and what I'm going to execute. So I'm just going to stick with what I know I'm good at and what boxing punches I'm good at. So I'm just going to do my game plan and hopefully it works and hopefully I perform and execute that well.
And after this fight, what would you like to happen after this fight?
So I want to make the most out of right now I'm in shape. Right now I have a good opportunity for my work. I want to get as many fights as I possibly can for the next couple of years. And if I do well in boxing, I have a background in martial arts as well and a background in wrestling. So I wouldn't mind giving MMA a try too and just making the most in boxing and MMA.
Not professional wrestling, though. You're not going to do
No,
that.
not professional wrestling. No, professional fighting. Yes.
Okay, just checking on that. So, what do you like to do in your spare time when you're not working, when you're not boxing? What do you like to do?
I have two beautiful kids, so I am a mom, and I love being with them. So, and my family, it's family all the way. My family, my husband, my kids, and my brothers and sisters. We all have kids now, so it's just getting together and seeing all my nieces and nephews and taking care of my kids.
And are your kids or your nephews and nieces how many of them are old enough to appreciate or to realize what exactly you're doing?
No, they're all young.
They're
My
all
son is
young.
the oldest. He's 6 years old, and he does not understand. But he loves to go train with me. Every time I go to gym, he wants me to take him. But no, he doesn't understand the work and everything like that. He just goes there just to have fun and play with other kids and go on my phone. So no, he
But
doesn't appreciate it.
but does he see you? Does he see you sparring with other opponents? Does he see mommy getting hit or mommy hitting?
Yeah, he grew up in the gym too. So my family has a martial arts gym, and my brother also has a martial arts gym. So he grew up in that, and he's always seen that. So I think for him, it's already normal that fighting is part of our family. So he sees that. So it's kind of normal for him.
Okay. Now you said
He's not afraid of seeing fights or anything because he grew up in that environment.
now you said you haven't really seen any video or you don't know a whole lot about your opponent on Saturday. For a usual fight, if you do know more about, like, how far in advance do you start training specifically for one fight as opposed to just general training?
It always helps to find out who you're fighting because there's so many types of boxers. You have orthodox fighters, you have southpaw fighters, the different stances. Then you have distant fighters, you have inside fighters. So it's always very helpful. So if you know the opponent beforehand, then you could specifically train exactly, if they're taller, if they're shorter, how you're going to execute the plan. But since I have no idea, I'm just literally training the bits of everything. You know what I mean? And focusing on exactly what are my strong points and doing that.
So can I ask you your style? I don't want to give away secrets if that's okay, but if
Yeah, let's not give secrets. You can see the video. I'm pretty sure it's gonna pop up later.
I understand it, and I understand and I respect that. Um, Outside of boxing and your job, do you have any long-term goals? Like, do you do, I don't know, do you want to run a marathon? Do you want to do anything else athletic? You mentioned MMA, but is there anything other than that specifically? You seem very
Uh,
athletic.
um, yes, I didn't know since it's both been so long since I've competed in boxing, but that's what I grew up with boxing and martial arts in my life. And now I'm getting the passion and I'm actually coming back. I never thought that I was gonna come back because I was very comfortable, living my life as a police officer and, with my kids and taking care of them. It's very comfortable. But now that I found my passion again, I'm just gonna literally just stick with what I'm good at because I'm not gonna start something else that I'm not good at. So I'm gonna stick with what I'm good at and what I know and my techniques, and I'm just gonna honestly just focus on boxing and kickboxing and mixed martial arts. That's what I want to do. Those are my goals.
And I assume that the children around you, the younger children around your neighborhood, know what you do. Do they come up to you like, is it cool to kind of be a role model for young women who want to get into stuff like boxing? Because years ago, like when I was a kid, women wouldn't get into boxing, and I think it's so great now that someone like you could carry it and pass it on to other kids.
I think a lot of people were kind of shocked that I came back because again, it's been so long, and I have gotten many compliments of being like an inspiration, and I'm just honestly doing this to not have regrets in life and to make my family proud, and to make the most of it, because I do believe I have a talent, and I just want to make the most of this opportunity and be a good example for my son and of course, my daughter. And of course, my family has gyms and they have kids, a lot of students. And if I'm able to inspire them and they look up to me, then that's great. My older sister, she's a world champion, and she inspired many people at our gyms, being El Paso's first ever world champion, and also being a female. I know that the inspiration that she's made in this community has been so great and long lasting. And if I could be anything like my sister, that would be great.
Well, from what I can tell, from what I've read, I've done a little bit of research on you. You're right there, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Before I let you go, is there any place you want people to check you out online? Is there anything you want to promote other than your fight, which is Saturday? I know the fight is on Saturday. People should check it out.
I've never really been, yes, I've never been really active on social media, but I'm going to start doing this. It's all about my family on social media. But I do have a Facebook. I do have an Instagram, Stephanie Hahn. I don't know my exact names, but I know Stephanie Hahn. And also, the fight this Saturday is going to be October 30th at the Las Cruces Convention Center. And fights start at 6:30. And the fights, they're $40 tickets for general admission, $80 tickets for ringside. But they're first come, first serve for that section. So make sure you get there a little early. I believe the doors open at 5 or 5:30. That's about it.
Well, Stephanie,
And there's going to be also local boxers on this fight from El Paso and Las Cruces. So if you just want to get out and have a nice night and support local boxers, I would advise, especially people from El Paso and Las Cruces, to come out and support us.
if I wasn't in Chicago, honestly, I'd be there because I'm very interested in this fight. I will be following you to check the results either Saturday or Sunday, whenever they're posted. Stephanie, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
You're an amazing athlete. You're an amazing inspiration to young women and young men, I guess. Why not? I mean, what you're doing is amazing. So I really appreciate your time. I wish you a lot of luck in the fight, and take her down.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Stephanie. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.